Hello everybody and welcome to the very first JStation podcast. My name is Joe.
I'm Jim.
And I'm Jamie.
We are three content creators from the UK. You'll find us on Twitch and YouTube. But here just to talk a little bit about ourselves and what we're all about, I guess. Jimmy, take it away.
Oh boy, yeah, throwing straight over the, the Olympic torch over to me.
Well, I've got to put you under some pressure.
That's fair. The baton.
The baton. We could call this JStation 1, and then the next one could be JStation 2, and then we'll just keep going up, ripping off Sony.
What happens when we get to the JStation 6 and Sony decide they want to change their naming convention completely?
Then we can claim all the rights to any further numbers, I suppose.
Easy peasy.
It's free money. Why? We're in the wrong business. Making content for ears and eyes and nose sometimes when we can just be stealing all content.
What content do we make for people's noses?
Don't ask questions, Joe. Just smile and nod.
I mean, that is a standard with Jim.
Oh, we make regular scratch and sniffs and post them out.
Oh, you beat me to it.
Yeah.
Have you got them
business
scratch cards that have a smell underneath them?
Yeah. You don't get a prize, you just get a waft.
Which is a prize in itself, really.
A Jimmy waft?
You know when you what would a Jimmy waft smell like?
Oh, don't.
That's a dangerous question.
I think we've spoke about
rapidly
this.
We've gone off.
I think we have spoke about how long Jimmy spends in the bathroom. He's either turtling or pooing at any one time. So the smell on the scratch card could be... Was we going to do this sort of PG-13, or have I literally just...
No,
it doesn't.
No, it's
I don't
too
think
late.
it matters. Yeah.
We've already broken the barrier.
You said turtling and pooping. They're not really bad words.
Well,
but it's more than just topic in general. Isn't
yeah.
it, really?
Was we going to make it clean?
Nah.
Not anymore.
It's too late. We can't go back.
As clean as a ghost poo.
They're my
Man, they're
favourite.
the best. Oh, yeah, so good.
I'm glad you
Anyway.
agree.
No, I want to talk about this more.
Moving on from Jimmy's toilet habits and constantly being in a state of needing the bog.
He's either needing one or doing one, so...
I need to go right now.
Exactly. I hope you
I
can
should've
hold
said
it.
He
before we
boiled
started.
down into two different states and it's either on the bog or needs the bog.
This is totally like your tweet the other day. It's either pog or not pog.
Bog or not bog. Like everything's a potato or not a potato.
What?
Is this an
Everything
Irish
in the world
thing?
is either a potato or it's not a potato.
Yeah, but you can say everything's a penguin or not a penguin.
Exactly. So everything's either pog or not pog.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess.
I was hoping for more like a 50-50 split, more than like, oh, here's some dirt rocks that you eat, and then everything else around it.
It's got to be 50-50 though, isn't it? If it's you needing a poo or doing a poo, there's no in between.
We were going to take, I think, the beginning of this podcast like to introduce ourselves, but I feel like this has done it for us. I
Yeah.
don't think we really need to go into any more detail other than our toilet habits.
Well, now you know about us. Let's move on.
We have a small note that says a very brief life story, but we've covered that bit. So,
Yeah, easy peasy.
Well, because Jim has no time for anything else. There is a life story right there.
We're actually lucky we managed to rope him in for an hour for this.
I've got
exactly.
I've got a little note here about your greatest fear. That's yeah, there's a note here asking what my greatest fear is.
Oh yeah, go on then. Well, that's a good question. What is your greatest fear?
I don't even think I know that if you have one.
What if I don't know if I know that. I know one thing that I am terribly scared of that most people probably think is stupid.
I guess that's a fear.
What should we guess? Is this a guessing game or me and Jimmy
Couple-
gotta try and...
two guesses, and then I'll get one, you get one, and then Joe will tell us.
I'll be
Figure it
super
out.
surprised if you get this.
All right, Jamie, you go first.
Is it like the fear of being in a large body of water? There might be a shark somewhere in the pipes.
That is a good guess, but no, it's not that.
Is it just the overall fear of dying?
Well, it wasn't until you just said it. Christ.
Thanks, Jimmy.
I wasn't terrified.
I thought I was going to live forever.
Oh,
Rip.
Did you not know?
Know what?
Oh, sweetie.
We'll come to that later. I don't need to know about it. My
I'll
greatest
tell you
fear,
off air.
well, my only fear that I can think of at the top of my head is my fear of going to bed and dreaming about being late for work.
Is that
Wow.
really?
Because it happens all the time, and I wake up panicking that I'm late for work. And literally in the dream, I get myself in a right state because I wake up in the dream and it's like 10 o'clock and I should be at work at 8. And then I'm like, should I call in sick or is it too late? Do I just keep going? And then in the morning, I wake up and all of these thoughts have gone through my head, these processes of what I need to do. And it happens too often, maybe weekly.
I'll tell you what, you're not alone on that. Like, I don't have the fear of like going to bed and hoping I don't have the dream, but I do have those dreams. And I used to get them a lot when I was a delivery driver. And I used to dream all the time that I was going to miss a delivery or be late for it or like you said, turn up late for work. And then the dream would like, I'd be at home like eating a roast dinner and it'd be like, oh shit, I got to go deliver these like groceries to this old lady 5 villages over. Just throw myself in the van, drop my roasties, you know.
I'm glad I'm not alone on this one.
Really is upsetting. Like, I'm glad I'm not the only person who's experienced that.
Yeah.
It's a niche one. I'll give you that. Of it being like a genuine fear. That's a niche one.
I can actually jump off further this, and I've had even worse dreams from when I was cabin crew.
Right.
Sorry to sort of override your fear here.
There is no greater fear, but go on.
So, like when you're trained as cabin crew, like obviously they train you for every like emergency situation. Like if the plane's going to crash, if there's a decompression, if someone's dying on the flight, whatever, you train for it all. So you know what to do in the small percentage chance that it happens. But because like you constantly have to think of that, like, oh, if there's like a decompression now, is there too many people in the galley and stuff like that? When you go to sleep, sometimes you dream it actually happens and it's horrifying.
Oof.
Ouch.
I don't like the sound of that.
I don't want to work on planes.
I loved it. There's a small part of me regrets not working on planes, but I definitely don't miss the stress dreams.
No, they're just replaced with turning up for late work now.
You're like, oh, well, I had a dream I was late for work, but the plane didn't crash, so that was quite nice.
Yeah, when you put things into context, it don't sound too bad.
You're worried about dreaming about waking up being late for work, but I actually did wake up thinking I was late for work, if you remember that one time. the old Jamie classic.
I remember this.
Oh, I love this story. Please tell it again.
I will do. I forget what we had done the previous night, but we were definitely out. I can't remember where or why, but we had gone out for a hefty amount of drinks. And this is when me and Jimmy, I believe, were living together in our last year of university.
Was it? I thought it was the before time.
Was it?
Maybe.
It was definitely when we first. It was the early days that I met you. So
oh yeah, that was the year before.
Oh, right. I thought Jimmy was living there. Well, look, to be fair, the only actual person that's part of the story is myself and Dan. That's probably why it's a bit hazy.
Oh, by the way,
I've been drinking.
Can I quickly interject?
Of course.
There's a Discord question saying we've ever lived together. Me and Jamie used to, and this is part of the story. But anyway, go on.
Yes, that's true. So, yeah, we come home. I go to bed. It's something like 4 a.m. We'd been up quite late. I think we'd ordered Domino's at something like 3 a.m. as well. And I'd eaten that and gone to bed. And then I wake up and it's like semi-dark. And I wake up, look at the clock, and I notice that it's like nearly 5. And it's an analog clock. Let me point this out. It's an analog clock. And I see that it's 5 o'clock. And I kind of like wake up in a bit of a daze, look at the clock, look at the sky outside. And I'm like, oh my God, it's like late afternoon, early evening. Shit, I'm supposed to be at work, I think half an hour ago. So I like jump out of bed and I pull my phone out. I call work and leave no one picks up. So I leave a voice message to be like, I'm so sorry I'm late for work. Like I'm coming in, like bear with me, I won't be long. And then I race and like jump in the shower and like fully shower myself. Get out of the shower, get my phone out and call a taxi because normally they're quite prompt. And I'm like, I can get dressed and like be ready in time for when the taxi gets here. And then I'm like, fuck, I can't find my keys. So I'm searching around for my keys and I have no idea where my keys are. So I like go to Dan's room and bang on the door. And then he's like, I've obviously just woken him up and he's like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm like, Dan, I need your keys. I've got to go to work. Like, I can't let myself out because it was one of those doors that like locked from the inside as well. Stupid university accommodation. So he like gives me his keys and he's like, Jamie, what are you doing? It's like 5 a.m. And then me, because I'm in such a panic, I just completely disregard what he's saying. I'm like, shut up, Dan. Stop being stupid. Just give me your keys. So he gives me his keys and like follows me down the stairs like, Jen, I'm like, shut up, I need to go to work. So I leave and the taxi's outside. And I get in the taxi. And then I finally have this like moment of like, there's literally nothing I can do now. Like the only thing that's going to get me to work is this taxi and there's nothing I can do to make it go faster. So I just got to like ride this out. So I like pull my phone out, have a quick look at it. And then I notice that it says it's something like 5:10. And then something inside me clicks that's like, I'm pretty sure my phone clock is 24 hours and it says 05. So I look up to the taxi driver and I'm like, this is going to sound like a weird question, but is it 5 a.m. or p.m.? And this dude's like looking at me in the rearview mirror like, what? He's like, it's 5 a.m. And I was like, right, in that case, I need you to turn around and drop me straight back home, please. We literally, all we've done is get to the top of the road. He turns around, drops it back off, and I'm like, keep the fare, man. I'm an idiot. And then I like let myself back in the front door, tail between my legs, and Dan stood there like, you know, like when you get home late and your mum's cross with you and she's got her arms folded. But he was just like, I told you so. And then obviously I got grilled about it when I did go to work that evening. One of the first things I remember was getting in, and then one of the supervisors called Elliot. Joe will probably remember Elliot.
Oh yes.
I just walk in, and then he's just like, "Oh no, I'm so late. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me." And I was like, "Man, seriously, I don't even know what happened this morning."
Oh, it's worse that you left the voicemail.
Oh,
They have
I did
evidence.
everything.
Even if you didn't leave the voicemail, Dan would have told everyone. There was no escaping that.
Yeah, there's no living down that story, but I like to own it because it was. I don't feel like I don't do that many stupid things like that stupid, and this is one of them. So I kind of have to own it.
I hadn't heard that story in a while. It always makes me chuckle. I was trying to
It's a
hold
goodie.
back the giggles then.
It's a goodie.
Oh man, it never ceases to bring me joy. I love that story. And I can imagine you just like throwing yourself around, just like trying to find your shirt and everything as well.
Oh,
You must have
yeah, 'cause
literally sprung into action. Like, oh shit, I'm
I
late
did.
for work. I don't have no time to lie in or anything.
That's the thing. I woke up in such a panic that like I didn't even take a second to go, wait, is it actually 5 p.m.? Like, but well, whoever wakes up and thinks that, whoever wakes up and goes like, oh, it's 5, but is it a.m. or p.m.? It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, you don't
No
look
one
at
does that.
don't look at your watch and be like, oh, it's 2 a.m. or is it 2 p.m. I'm not sure. Let me check the
Yeah.
sun.
Let me get my sundial out.
Which way is east?
Yeah, which way is east? Today's question of the day, kidding.
That way. I've already answered it.
So-
It's fine.
So yeah, we never lived. All three of us haven't lived together, but we have worked together.
Yeah, you two live together. I was
Yeah.
round there frequently, but I didn't live with you.
Joe lived literally round the corner as well,
Yeah.
so it was very easy to get to yours or vice versa.
Literally about
That's how we
a
really
3-minute
got
walk.
to know you.
That's true. Yeah, it was. We knew that Joe lived close, and I think it was. I want to say it might have been Dan actually that started going around to yours first. I think there was a period where you were quite ill, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Well-
and then Dan kept coming around and playing games with you or something, and then it kind of spawned more from there. I think.
Well, I was already pretty good friends with Dan at that point, so I'd hung out with him a lot, and I just had an operation, so I couldn't really move or do anything or go anywhere. So he came round and we were playing games. I can't remember if that's where it stemmed from, but that did happen, and I think
Was that your Wiener reduction surgery?
yeah, that was it.
Makes sense.
He's gone over it 3 times.
From 1.5 down to 1. So nice
keep me
nice
going.
round number. I don't like halves. Got to do it or do it
Half
properly.
measures with Joe. This is the full shebang with Joe.
Although that is quite a big change, and you don't do big change.
No,
That's true.
Must have been a very upsetting time for your life.
I'd argue it's not a fear of Joe's, but it's definitely something that Joe hates. Just
What?
change.
Oh yeah, it's a nightmare. I don't like not having a camera on me right now. Just hearing my voice is strange.
It is weird, isn't it?
It is strange.
People can usually see what I'm doing, or you guys are usually with me. I've never had this before.
I'm so used to having like the chat as well to bounce off of. So obviously, like as before we started recording, the saying you got like a visual cue of the game. Obviously, you can talk about what's going on in the game, but now we've got to keep up conversation. We don't do that in our normal lives.
Yeah, I usually say maybe one word when I get up in the morning, and it's like, oh fuck, and then do the day of work. Don't say a word. Come home, go to bed.
It's like that Vine where it looks at the alarm clock and just goes far for the day.
Yes. I'm surprised that your first word out of bed isn't just like, oh, am I late for work?
Oh, that's only once a week.
Oh, okay.
Kick Commander out of
Once a
bed
week,
because she's
shebang.
closest to the door, and then leg it.
There's no time, Amanda. Just kick her out the bed.
Even though my clothes are on the floor on my side of the bed, I've got to kick her out of the way, jump out her side, run to the door, brush my tooth, come back for my clothes. We ain't got time, Jim. You're late.
SpongeBob tooth.
He's got to brush his tooth with his teeth brush.
Well, now you've made me thunk. Why do they call it a toothbrush if it's designed to brush all of your teeth?
Let's not open this can of worms, man.
So anyway, I'm running to work, putting my trousers on at the same time down the street. Luckily, I live about a 7-minute walk or a 3-minute run away from work.
Not that you timed it.
Or a 12-minute unicycle ride.
Because keeps falling off.
Trying to put his trousers on.
You underestimate my unicorn skills.
Unicorn skills?
Same
Please
thing,
explain
right?
your unicorn skills. I need to know.
Well,
It must be easier to put your trousers on.
unicycle, unicorn, kind of, they're all under the same tree, if you ask me.
Oh, right.
Part of the same umbrella. I see.
Yeah. Yeah, so riding one is pretty much like riding the other. Tomato, that kind of thing, you know.
Who knew? You heard it here first. If you can ride a unicycle, you have unicorn skills also.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm
that's why
glad we got
people
that
learn.
cleared up. Plays on my mind sometimes.
Keeps you up at night. Not as much as being worried, but
About being late for work.
Did we ever find out what Jamie's greatest fear was?
we only focused on you. We haven't done us yet.
Well,
Yeah,
you kind
it
of
was,
said about your cabin pressure dropping fear.
Oh, that wasn't really a fear. That was just me
Elaborating.
yeah, I had a similar, have a similar experience.
Oh. Well, okay. Your guy's turn then.
I don't know what my greatest fear is, but you guys know that I'm scared of moths, and I'm unsure why, but I don't like moths. They make me very anxious.
Nothing pulls you out of the Jamie persona more than seeing a moth.
Oh, it's the worst. I hate them. They're so unpredictable and so fluttery. And I know I'm fully aware that they can't hurt me, but I hate them. They're so just scatty and unpredictable. I hate the way they fly. I hate the way that when they die they turn into dust. Like the whole package. It's not there. It's not there for me. It doesn't it doesn't connect with me. Don't like it. I don't mind little moths. Little moths are fine. It's big ones. You get the chunky ones where you can see their eyes. Oh, it's the worst.
Oh, like an Atlas moth or an Emperor's moth.
Oh, they can just go away.
Did
Stay,
you
like outside? Stop going into my flat. Go away.
Well, how are you with butterflies?
I don't mind them because I'm in their territory.
True.
Because if you come across a butterfly, it's never in your own house. It's always outside in nature, and I can deal with them because they kind of fly past you and they're like, "Hey, bye." When you're in your own flat and there's a moth, it just doesn't know what to do, and then it flies around all your lights, so you can't swat it because it's gonna bust your light bulbs. But then they're just like, "Ah!" like doing whatever it is they do, and they're the worst.
I imagine that's what their voices sound like. They do kind of have butterflies are much less dense, whereas a moth is like they have a body like a kidney bean. They they look like they'll cause some damage if they were to fly right into your eyeball, kind of thing.
Do you want to
Agreed.
know an interesting fact about the Atlas moth that may or may not make you happy?
I thought he was going to say, do you want to know a fact about the Atlas moth that may or may not be true? Go for it.
So maybe this isn't true. I'm not too sure. Joe might be right. Yeah. So the Atlas moth only lives for about 2 to 3 days because it is born without a mouth and therefore cannot feed. Its sole purpose is to reproduce and die.
What a life.
What a heckin' good life.
Could say the same about humans, really.
Where we get to eat, which is far more important. What would you do if you couldn't eat hot wings while doing it?
That would suck.
Okay, now I have a bit of an
hot wings
insight.
Too much to not want to live through this life without them.
I miss going out for hot wings. Remember when we did the unlimited night thing?
Brew Dog.
We do have
good
a
times.
local. What's the name of the venue or the type of
Brew
venue?
Dog. Oh, the type. It's a brewery, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mostly a brewery, but they do unlimited, or they used to do unlimited wings on Wednesday, and they were one of the tastiest hot wings I've ever tasted.
They're so good.
Oh.
They're so
Yeah,
good.
they have no business being so tasty from a place that only does beer, but here we are.
For a place that specializes in their own beer, their wangs are damn tasty.
They do have them tasty wang. It's true.
Was
Yeah.
it you who told me, Jamie, that each brew dog has its own individual sort of specialty? So they'll, like, obviously the one we go to does wings, and so do a couple of others, but there'll be one that does, like, burgers.
Yeah, the menu is different venue to venue. Yeah, it's not the same across. It's not like a restaurant where the menus are pretty much the same. They'll do like different stuff. I went past one in London actually a while ago. I wish I could remember where in London. Unfortunately, I can't at the moment. But it was, if anyone's heard of like the Sherlock like big escape room in London, you must have at least heard of it. I think it's near there. And I walked past it, and we had like this retro video games night going on where they put all old consoles and old TVs on all of the tables, and you could just sit there and play retro video games and stuff, which is really cool. But that was the
Sounds
only
awesome.
brew dog that I know that does that.
I know where that is because I went there by accident.
Oh, nice.
We were looking for, funnily enough, we were in London for the sole purpose of finding this bar which apparently like lets you play like board games and have cocktails and drinks and stuff. And typically the one we tried to go to was the only one they shut down.
Of course.
So we were walking, it's in Shepherd's Bush, I remember now. And then we were walking back and then we saw the Brew Dog and I was like, oh, should we go in and get some wings? Because Brew Dog wings are wicked.
Hell yeah.
And they're, this guy comes in with like this massive, like, you know what you call like the luggage cases, the ones that you put like guitars in and stuff like that.
Oh,
There's a
flight
word for
case.
them. Flight case, yes, that's it. And he comes out and just opens it, and it's like a shitload of like N64s and SNESes and stuff, and he's like putting these CRTs around. It was really cool.
Wow.
Brilliant.
I was just about to say that going to a Brew Dog does feel like your nostalgic kind of vibe of brewery. On top of that, you get wangs, and now you get consoles as well, old school retro games. That sounds wicked.
What's not to like?
Yeah, I'm all down for
should
that.
we record an episode of J3 there one day?
Yeah, if they'd let us.
Just let us.
We'll
Please
DM
just
them
let
and be
us.
like, we're influencers.
We can get you guys one more shopper. That's got to be a win,
Three
right?
more, because it'll be us.
Well, we're going to buy the beer anyway, but we'll be like, we'll get you 5 new followers on Instagram.
Don't you know who we are?
I can't. How can you turn a deal like that down?
DM us, we'll talk Brewdog if you're listening. Your brewery up in Ellen is huge. I've drove past it because my grandma lives near you, and it is massive. The end.
I like you're saying you like it's a person, like Brewdog is a human being.
Is it not?
Well, I mean, I can't say for certain now. You made me doubt myself.
Where do you think they got the name from?
Oh, I'll tell you what they did do.
Gone.
They made this beer based on Aldi. You might
What?
know this story because you love Aldi. Here we go.
Jimmy's ears spiked.
So Aldi a little while ago brought out their own IPA, and it was heavily based. I want to say it might have been based off of Punk, like Brewdog's like staple beer. And they brought this beer out, and even the can, like fully, it looks like a complete rip-off of Brewdog's Punk IPA.
Like that shiny blue sort of.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but I want to say it's called something like Rebel, something like that. I can't remember. But anyway, so Brewdog on Twitter designed a beer, like as a joke, like kind of getting back at them, and they called it Aldi IPA.
Nice.
And they put it in like the Aldi colored can, and then put like the kind of like a mock Aldi logo over it, and used all the Aldi colors, and then like released it to them being like, hey Aldi, what do you think of this? And I think they replied and was just like, yeah, that's cool, we'd drink it. And then Brewdog went ahead and actually released the damn thing, and now it's a real beer.
That is, I never heard that actually, but that's incredible.
It's great.
If you want to get things
It
done,
actually it's a real beer. It exists, and it's called Aldi IPA, I think, and you can buy it and drink it.
smart. Play on
Can you
words.
buy it in
Love
Aldi
it.
though?
I don't think you. That would be great, actually. If you could buy it in Aldi, that'd be wonderful. Especially you'd love that because you love Aldi.
Exclusive to Lidl. No,
No.
that would break my soul in twain.
Where's your nearest Aldi? Have you got to drive long and far and wide to get to your closest Aldi?
It's opposite
Lidl.
Morrison's, actually. Yeah. They normally are. There's always one within 5-minute walking distance.
Yeah. Can you imagine owning Aldi, Lidl, Tesco, and all of the above? You get free meal deals for life.
Sign me up.
I won't worry about the income, but it'd be like turkey and stuffing sandwich. I'll take one of those because I get it a daily quota for free.
Exactly. Even though I'm earning millions and millions, more money than cents, really, I want them meal deals for free.
Because you said more money than cents, I now have LFIEGOESON in my head. Thank you, Joe.
You're most welcome. Keep it going throughout the rest of the stream. Nice.
Anyone listening, for the next episode, send us a picture of your meal deals, and we'll rate them out of 10.
That
We'll
is
tell you how good your meal deal is.
that is a perfect time to interject, actually. Because we do have a Discord with a picture section that you can come in and post your sandwich picture to. And if you're wondering, well, Jimmy, I can't really get to your Discord because I don't know where the link is. Well, my lovely eared friend, you can find us on various medias on the internet. Obviously, you found us here wherever you're listening to quality podcasts because you've chosen to listen to us. And thank you very much for tuning in, by the way. You can also find us at twitch.tv/JFreeChannel. And
Oh, yeah.
Instagram and Twitch as well for J3 Channel. So come by, come say hello. Tell us if you found us on the podcast because we'd love to know. And thank you very much.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And don't forget to upload the pictures of your meal deal because we will rate them. And
Or
that's
us.
definitely one of those things that I like to rate harshly. No stones unfolded kind of
No
thing.
holds bar.
Yeah, I
Stones unfolded.
because I fold stones. Although I had no bad word to say about your one you uploaded earlier this week, Jim.
Oh.
As much as I wanted to say bad things about a picture you've uploaded, I couldn't.
I tell you what, I
good.
was actually really sad about that meal deal because I'm pretty sure the Dr. Pepper bottle was opened.
What was it, flat?
Well, yeah, I sort of like I ate my sandwich. Oh, by the way, it was turkey and stuffing, Christmas Tesco's.
Best thing about
And then-
Christmas.
Exactly. Oh, the best thing. We'll come back to that though, because I want to talk about sandwiches more.
All right.
Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, I got to wash it down with some Dr. Pepper now. And I twisted the lid off, and it just came away. You know, normally you have to like snap it.
Yeah, you get the
was just like-
satisfying crack. Yeah.
And by this point, I was like in like the food frenzy. Do you know when you're like everything around you is a blur because you're eating food? So I took a mouthful of it, and then I was like, oh, hang on a minute. So I threw the rest away. But if I die in the next 2 to 6 weeks, it's been a wild ride, guys. Blame
Yeah.
that Dr.
2 to
Pepper
6
bottle.
weeks. That's a large date range.
I don't know how long it's going to take.
Well, if it's
Why-
6 weeks, we should get another few podcasts in, so that's all right.
Yeah, good point.
That's true.
You can start lining up my replacement.
What
Yeah.
I especially liked about Joe's rating of your meal deal is that he said, if I recall, something like, I can't fault it, and then gave it 9 out of 10. And I was like,
Tell you what, I
would
can
have
actually
boosted
find
to a
it.
10?
Well, I can't fault it. There's nothing wrong with it, but there are a few things that you could have done to make it more right.
That sounds like a fault, in my opinion.
It's not a
I
fault.
found it. Here we go. I can't fault it, to be honest. Solid choice on sandwich and crisp. Crisp was Walker's Max Fiercely Flaming Hot, by the way.
Exactly.
Dr. Pepper is good for a change. 9 out of 10.
Yeah, so yeah, see, good for a
Guys.
change, but it's not my regular choice.
That's fair. What is your regular choice?
I'm pretty plain and boring when it comes to that. Just regular Coke.
Oh, okay. For
So
some reason, I'm
Dr.
gonna
Pepper every now and again.
nothing wrong with a good regular Coke, especially when it's ice cold.
Exactly. I think I'm addicted. Someone needs to help me. Send help.
If you get rid of your Coke addiction, I'll get rid of my coffee addiction.
No, that's not happening.
It's the caffeine, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I can resist fatty foods, sweets in general, and I can enjoy nice food. But when it comes to fizzy drinks, I can't put it down. I can't say no. I'm sure I'll stop when my teeth fall out, but until then, I'll keep going.
Your one tooth.
Well, no, my one tooth's fine because I brushed that one. It's the others I'm worried about. But it's the main one, if you get my drift.
Yeah. If you lost that one, it's all over.
Yeah.
Might as well just get full denture replacement on your one tooth.
It's the one I rely on, so can't cut corners with it.
You can cut glass with it. Shave diamonds.
Yeah, probably.
Joe uses it to open cans.
Jim, you're a genius. I've looked on Google hundreds of times of how to make millions and millions of pounds, and not once did they say use your one Supertooth to cut diamonds.
I think it's probably under the assumption that not everyone has one Supertooth.
What? Then
I can't imagine that people know that their target audience has one Supertooth.
9 out
Wait.
of 10 dentists because the other dentist has a super tooth.
9 out of 10 can't fault it.
so what are you trying to tell me? Do you brush more than one tooth?
Oh, sweetie.
Why'd you keep saying that today?
I don't know. It's fun to say.
Am I missing something?
Joe buys those electric toothbrushes, and because the head is so small and circular, he's like, this is only enough to brush one tooth with. So he picked one and then just stuck with that one for the rest of his life.
Do you go from full charge to empty as well on that one tooth?
Yeah, I do. My electricity bill is through the roof every month.
Why?
So I have to charge my toothbrush daily.
Is it plugged in like a power drill?
I have one of those generators that Download Festival has.
It's just one of those petrol engines going on day and
Yeah.
night.
You know, the one that powers
Vent
main
going out
stage.
the window. Yeah,
Yeah, one of those.
the size of your
Brilliant.
front room.
We don't call it a front room anymore. We call it the generator room, or the room where if you spend too long in there, you see things, which is quite enjoyable sometimes.
I'll tell you what, you see whatever way you turn is a freaking generator.
It's I'm pretty sure they're not designed to be inside because of fumes and that, but I have a wild ride.
Fumes and that.
I have to say I was skeptical at first, but now,
Sold.
6 months in, I'm sold.
I'm glad
It's
I
like
can change your thought on things.
my worldview on room-sized generators.
Exactly, yeah.
So back on the Christmas sandwich. By the way, we're like, just to quickly say, we made like a plan of how our podcast was going to go, what we were going to talk about and stuff.
We have not stuck to it at
No.
all. This is completely nothing that we've spoken about is even on this document.
The introduction was on there.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
and then let's
That's
talk
fine.
about ourselves. But then we very quickly went away from that.
Yeah, very, very quickly. I feel like this has gone well so far. We should talk about our weeks. That's what we should do. We should talk about how good our week's been.
Talk about your week in Christmas sandwich form, please.
In Christmas
Was
sandwich
it?
form. Oh, what a great idea. That's a fantastic idea.
All
If-
right, then.
If I was to describe my week as a Christmas sandwich, it would be, I think I'm going to go, it'd be something like turkey, brie, and cranberry sauce.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's been a pretty damn good week. Pretty damn good week. The only thing it's missing maybe a little bit of bacon, which I know is unconventional for a Christmas sandwich, but I think it
There's-
needs it. A little bit of
Turkey
salt.
and bacon
Ah.
go together quite well.
Well, what has made your week like this sandwich? Have you had any wins?
I have. Yes, I've had 2 wins this week. I've had the win of I finally managed to celebrate the release of the PlayStation 5 this week and got myself a PS4.
Result.
The PS4 that I used to play on when I lived with Dan, that he took with him, and he got himself a PS5, so I bought his PS4 back off him. So that means I finally get PlayStation VR back, which I was very excited about because I haven't played VR in a long time, and I really like it. It's big fun. And number 2, my second win is I got a £12.43 refund from my car insurance company for quite literally no reason. It just appeared in my bank and they didn't tell me why. Not that I'm going to complain, obviously, but as long as I'm still insured, I don't really care. But it just
Nice.
came in my bank and I have no idea why.
Well, you can
Can you
get
imagine that? Sorry.
4 of those. You can get 4 of those sandwiches with that
Four
£12.43.
meal deals.
Yeah.
Never go hungry again.
Exactly.
Cut the sandwich in half. You got 4 meals there.
Yeah, look at you strutting around like the guy that owns Tesco's.
So I'd give my week a solid 8 out of 10.
I like
Nice.
it. It's good.
Nice. Jimmy?
I'd also say, I'm looking at my sandwich picture because I brought it up for your comment. I'd say the turkey and trim sandwich, but maybe I'd step it up. I'd go up to M&S instead of Tesco.
Oh, that's a
Look,
bold
Jimmy.
statement there, Jimmy.
Now, that's like a £4.50 meal deal, so I hope you know what you're talking about.
Well, I changed jobs this week and I had my last shift. No more night shifts for the foreseeable future unless I opt to take more.
Go on, Jim. Nice.
So I'm super hyped about that. So I'll treat myself to the M&S sandwich.
I don't think I've known a Jimmy that doesn't work night shifts for a good few years now.
I've never not worked shift. This will be the first time ever I've done the Monday, Friday thing.
Welcome to the club, my dude.
You kind of half did it with me when you were a
Yeah.
door boy, but still every other weekend you'd work though.
We
But they
did
were
do,
normal hours.
They were normal hours, which helped me lose most of my weight at that time, actually.
Ah, Jimmy and his weight loss. They should. I wish we had a before and after picture to hand, but it's incredible. In fact, both of you have done it very well.
It stayed off somehow, which is the impressive bit.
Even though you've gone back to shift work. Well,
Yeah, somehow. Because the shift work I was doing gave me a lot of days off. Obviously, I spent a lot of it sleeping to recover from night shifts. And then for the full days off, I was able to go running whenever I wanted. So that was quite nice.
that's it. You did find running, found it, and ran with it literally. And now you're a fast boy.
I'm a very fast boy. To toot my own trumpet, because I can. Ran my fastest 5K is, I think it's 22:43, something like that. I did vomit afterwards.
You're an animal.
Worth.
Exactly, and I've never got close to that since. I've hit a few 23s, 23:50s, but nothing underneath that.
You must have slipped a little something in your tea, I think, before you went out for that one run.
Just extra positivity that day.
He had
I'm thinking
a
about a turkey and trimming sandwich.
he had a
I turned
7th
on
coffee,
Jim, the 7th coffee.
which is unusual for Jimmy. He normally has around 5 or 6. So that morning on his 7th, he's like, right, I'm going to do a 22-minute 5K run.
Oh, Jimmy does love coffee.
Oh, man, I love coffee so much. I'm such a coffee snob as well. I don't have I have instant, but I won't like have Nescafe. I'm like, hell no. But at home, I always like grind my own beans, and I've got like the pour over, and I bought like a gooseneck kettle for it. It's like a whole procedure. It takes me 20 minutes to make a cup of coffee, but it's so good every time. It's worth it.
There's Jimmy grinding baked beans into a mug.
Why is he so wet?
I'm such a coffee snob.
Can't wait to feel awake.
Jimmy literally can't function unless he has that coffee.
Oh,
Exactly.
that's true. Yeah. Jimmy went out of bed in the mornings like trying to boot up a Windows 93 PC nowadays, I reckon.
Just slap the sides a bit until it moves them. You hear the insides churning like.
They haven't had their daily dose of coffee lube.
Do you know like the sound a floppy disk drive makes?
Oh, yeah.
That's the sound I make when I wake up.
Do they make Much of a noise?
There's actually like full YouTube channels where like people make music with. It's really cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
So
they
different
do.
models have like different pitches, and then whatever you're loading will have a different rhythm.
I think the last time I used a floppy disk was probably a good 20 years
Week
ago,
ago.
I should think. It had a game where you could fling kittens onto spikes on it, and it was a cartoon thing. And that was it. That was all
Oh my
this
God.
thing was for.
I think I know what game you're talking
That
about.
rings a bell. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was pretty popular back in the days of floppy disks. Actually, it was probably around the time we were moving from floppy disks onto CDs. It was around then.
Was it called Kitten Cannon?
It might well have been. I can't remember if it was like a kitten on a slingshot or if it was out of a cannon, but it was something
Rings a
like
bell.
that.
Oh, it was literally like you had a cannon, and then it would just point up and down, and then you'd shoot it, and then the cat would go flying, and you'd have to like hope it misses all the obstacles on the way to set the record.
Yeah, something. So I think, to be honest, it was just you fired the cat out of a cannon. There was a brick wall on the other side, and on that brick wall there were spikes sticking out. If you hit one of those spikes, it impaled it. If you missed, then it'd hit the wall and fall down and walk off.
Walk off.
Yeah, it was fine.
Just walk it off.
I
Pretty
died,
much.
but I got better.
Oh, and there was a soundboard that had different fart noises on it as well on that floppy disk.
Did it have the classic?
Of course, I'm pretty sure that's where it originated from. That floppy disk. That was the sound effects floppy disk. That
Did you record it?
The original.
maybe. No, I heard it was my dad's mate friend's wife.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we know things.
Speaking of flinging cats, how's your week been, Joe?
This week's been average, I guess. I have had a win though. Earlier this week, I was helping mum and dad. They've literally just acquired a new property that they've basically stripped bare. The garden, the house, there's no walls left pretty much. It's literally just the brick foundations. The roof is coming off. So we were basically tearing up the garden. One of the things we had to do was rip trees out of the ground. And I didn't think I was going to be able to do this because they were in there deep. And I was using not a hacksaw, a chopping thing of some kind. A pickaxe, that's the word I was looking for. A giant one.
I
And
play Minecraft and get in the diamond chopping thing.
yeah, it was like a giant pickaxe. It was like a sledgehammer sized pickaxe. I'm pretty sure there's a word for these things, but I can't think of what they are right now. But we were basically just smacking at the roots with it for hours on end. I hurt my back, but we got the tree out. We was literally yanking at these things for a good 3 hours, and now I can't feel my back. So that's a win, in my opinion.
Interesting.
Is the win because you had a back workout or because you got the tree trunk out of the floor?
A bit of both. We got it out. We didn't have to pay someone to do it. Saved some money, and now the garden has giant holes in it, so it looks great.
Perfect. It's just what you like.
Exactly.
Only goes to
See it.
improve the value of the property.
Well, gyms are currently closed at the moment because we're on lockdown, so I haven't been able to go. So I've got to work out just by chopping holes into the ground. Easy.
I like to think that you were attacking the tree trunk with do you know like those little knives you get with pumpkin carving kits?
the little plastic things,
Yeah, and when you like start sawing at it, it bends.
maybe.
I think that's what you would have had. Because you're
mean-
so strong, you went, sod this, and just ripped it out of the ground.
That does sound like Joe, to be fair.
Well, I'm only strong when I'm folding things, and you can't fold trees out of the ground, so I had to do it the old-fashioned way.
It's
You can
not
fold
often
stones.
you hear Joe say that you can't fold something.
Well,
Yeah.
well, actually, that's a lie. I could have folded the tree. I can fold things. I can fold things, but that doesn't actually get the tree out of the ground. It just folds it. So there's my dilemma.
If you were to describe your week as a Christmas sandwich,
As a Christmas sandwich, it would be...
yeah,
It's not... Because it was average, it wasn't the best week. I'd say it's turkey with stuffing, but where, I don't know, maybe you've got it from the pound shop and it's underfilled stuffing. You know, when it's not
it's
quite
dry as
enough.
well.
And yeah, no sauce, no butter or anything, just literally turkey and underfilled stuffing.
oof.
It's when you look at the sandwich on the shelf. The fridge is warm, by the way. This is always a thing in Poundland. The fridge is never cold.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
they're
Just there for display, aren't they, those fridges?
pretty much, yeah. The sandwich itself, it looks like it's got filling in, but when you open the sandwich, the filling's only at the front of the sandwich and nothing else. So it's
Yeah.
just there for display purposes.
That's right. It's on the display portion of the sandwich.
I think you had a better week than that. I don't think you should sell yourself short to a Poundland sandwich.
Well, I didn't... It's the best Poundland sandwich. It's the best one they have to offer. It's not the worst week. but it's not a good enough week to say a Tesco meal deal, in my opinion.
Not yet. It's coming
Fair
soon.
enough.
Well, we've still got. It's only Wednesday. It can only get better.
That's a good point. It could even go up to Subway levels of grandeur, I reckon.
Well, I have
'Cause I
played the
know-
lottery, so if I win that tomorrow, then or Friday, then yeah, I'd say so. That'd be a Subway sandwich for sure.
Did
Sure
you do
it's
the
not-
lottery because you were Googling how to make millions?
You saw right through me. Yes, I did. Well, it was more
Says-
how to make millions fast. Those are my two options.
I'd say it's pretty instant, but only if you win the lottery, though.
What?
Like, you can make millions fast with the lottery, but like as long as you win.
This document I read said I just have to play it.
You don't have
just
to do
gotta
anything
play it.
else. You don't have to claim it. They come to you. Like
Alright,
the FBI
good.
kicking down your door.
All right, I'm glad you told me that. That's fine then.
Are you going to be one of those people that go on the news? Like, yeah, I probably slept, turn up to work. No, you would.
I
Don't
would
lie.
not, like, if I genuinely won the lottery, I would not make it publicly known. That would be dumb.
Oh no, I wouldn't want to do that either.
Oh, God, it'd be awful. I'd pay a solicitor to keep all media away from me and then live out my days as a hermit.
Do you mean a solicitor or do you mean a hitman?
Why not both?
Are they one in the same?
Well, it sounds like a
It's
great...
topic.
Well,
of the day.
Don't they give you the option of, like, making it public or being anonymous?
Am I going to say they give you the option? Do you want, like, law advice or to kill a guy?
You get the option of a hitman or a solicitor. Take your pick.
They offer a 2-in-1 service where they kill someone and do the paperwork afterwards.
Kill two birds with one stone. I like it.
I think they give you the option of I want to say the public is like where they put it like on the website maybe.
Oh, yeah.
I can't really remember, but no, I wouldn't want to go public with it.
It's when they, like, do it at their front door as well.
Oh, what?
It's just
Someone
like-
hands them a giant check and take picture for the press.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, God. Why?
Yeah. You're going to have people knocking at your door. People
Would
are
you-
going to be contacting you left, right, and centre.
It'd be awful. You'd be begging letters. Please, sir, I'm awfully ill. Full Tiny Tim.
Full Tiny Tim.
There's a lot of Tiny Tims when you've won the lottery.
Exactly. Come out the woodwork.
So
I
what is-
couldn't imagine doing that. I couldn't imagine writing my feelings on a piece of paper to someone super rich in the hopes they'd maybe send me money.
Imagine having feelings,
Yeah, true. Wait, you or me?
just in general,
I have only crippling, endless amounts of optimism
and love.
and love and affection.
It's true.
Oh, that's
Which
Jimmy's.
going...
Definitely, you are definitely the most like. I've never met anyone as much about friendship and love as you.
I want my friends to be happy and have a good time. What's wrong with that, Jim?
Nothing's wrong with it.
No.
Nothing at all.
For everyone who doesn't know, Jimmy is the friendship guy of the three of us. Jimmy's all about friendship. He's got it
Actually,
tattooed on his leg.
I do have a Kingdom Hearts tattoo on my leg, which you could argue the game is mostly about friendship. But here's an example of why I am the friendliest person ever. This sounds weird and really narcissistic talking about it, but I make the same birthday wish every year. Well, at least a variation on it. Do you want to know what it is?
I'm interested in the fact that you make birthday wishes. I didn't take you as that kind of guy.
I know, obviously, like spiritual in that way, but it's a nice thing to do. It's something I've always done, and I sort of just have been doing it ever since.
Okay.
'Cause you know when your parents are like, "Oh, blow candles, make a wish," and I sort of just did that every year, probably since I can remember, maybe like 9 or 10. I always wish that all my friends and family have good fortune.
So much love.
So
Yeah.
much love. That's very selfless of you.
But now you've told us, Jim, that was the worst thing
become
you
true
could
now.
do.
Because true wishes don't come true if you tell people.
Surely you know
there's
the rule
me.
of birthday cake candle wishes.
Yeah, but I can just change the word.
Does it,
I can say,
is there a
excellent
loop?
fortune.
Jimmy, you telling me you found a loophole to birthday wishes?
Well, if you ask my solicitor / hitman, we found it after years of crunching.
Good to know.
I just wish for like the latest set of Connects, and then there's Jimmy. I want everyone that I know and love to have good fortune. I'm like, no, I just want to build shit.
Is Connects the one that like really hurt your fingers to put together?
Yeah, it was a pain in the ass. I
Oh, what the hell what's that about? They're like, oh yeah,
I
it's for
loved
kids,
it.
but a kid can't fucking snap it together because you're just snapping
Oh.
your thumbs off instead.
Wait, is this like, I don't know if I've heard of this. Is it like Lego?
Kind of.
I think
it's
it's
like
made by them.
It's like advanced Lego almost.
Lego could
because
get
it's
pretty damn
difficult to put
advanced.
together. It's like you have like almost like rods and then like corner pieces, and you like have to kind of clip them all together. And you could make like you might have seen them. You could make like a big Ferris wheel out of them, or like a big kind of ball roller coaster thing. Which two of the things that I made both of, by the way, when I was a kid. I have pictures of me stood next to them somewhere deep in the archives. I have pictures of me. I used to love it as a kid. Every Christmas and birthday, the family would just buy me a big box of Kinects, like as a new project to build, and I would spend hours every night after school, like just building. I absolutely
Crying
loved
because you
them.
couldn't put it together.
I was pretty good at it. I had pretty good patience back then. I don't know what's happened, but back then I had so much patience.
Actually, I think I do know what you're talking about. I have seen these. I know the ones.
Yeah.
Putting rods into slots. I'm pretty good at that.
I don't know if Kinects really is still a thing anymore, but it was when I was a kid, and I absolutely loved it.
Did they have like the ones with like magnets as well?
The magnets one. I don't think that was Kinects, because Kinects was just all plastic. I know what you're talking about. The one with the like, it was like rods and like balls at the end, like ball bearings that were magnetic. I think is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that was called, but I don't think it was Kinects, unless it was like a byproduct of Kinects. I know what you're talking about.
Did you ever get like off-brand Kinects and get really upset, like when you get like
they
Megabloks?
Oh, don't talk about
they never bought
Megabloks.
They never bought me off-brand Kinects. It was always the real deal. Well, as far as I know.
So, contrary to what you sometimes say, you were loved as a child.
Yes, very much so. Yeah, I do make out that I wasn't, just to make everyone else feel better, I suppose, right?
Did you
It's
ever
another-
get given that? I think it was called Duplo, which was like a really
Which
sad.
is like big Lego.
Yeah, it's kind of, I think, the British equivalent to Megabloks. I think they came like 5 bits in a box, and you put it together and had a picture on the front of it. It wasn't even like you made a shape. It was just,
And the box was like the size of a car as well, made it look like there's loads in there.
and you asked for Lego for Christmas, and someone bought you that, and it's just disappointing.
It's the one we're going to make with this. Oh, look, I made a block. Thanks.
I got 5 blocks and made it into a big block. Nice. And
Intuitive.
that's how Jimmy made his career path.
No one's ever gone to Duplo Land. Everyone goes to Legoland.
Wait, there's not a Duplo land, surely.
Oh, man. Google it. Can we Google it right now?
No way. There's no way. that
I
Duplo
would be
land's real.
surprised if Duplo is still going. They sucked.
It can't be real.
Duplo is not a thing, thank God.
Oh, it's made
Oh, wait,
by
no.
Lego.
It is made by Lego, yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was Lego, but I thought it was like a kind of like a young kids version of Lego, like my first
Oh.
Lego. Like that's what Duplo was. I thought.
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
I'm thinking of Megabloks then, which is like the complete knockoff, like
I'm
Lego
pretty sure
competitor.
we still had Megabloks over here. I'm
Yeah,
sure I remember
we do.
seeing adverts for it. As
Oh
a
no,
kid.
you're probably right. Actually, yeah. Okay. I'm googling it now. It looks like there's a tier system, like Lego being God tier,
Hierarchy.
Duplo being the next one down, and Megabloks being underneath. That actually looks like the really
Oh.
bad one.
Shit tier.
Judging by the pictures I'm looking at, because every Megabloks picture is literally just a pile of bricks. Whereas at least the Duplo pictures, it looks like they've been put together to make something that looks like something.
I was
Whereas,
going to say, surely you can boil it all down to they're a pile of bricks until you build something.
well, because no one has shown me a picture of something successfully built with Megabloks. It looks like just different coloured bricks.
Yeah, not going to go to Legoland and see a Sith Lord made out of Megabloks.
Why is his
It's like
face just a square?
The people who build stuff for Legoland are incredible, and they're a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
They're not
agree.
someone to bump into in a dark alley, because they will de-build you so fast.
The master builders.
It's insane. Have you ever been up to the bit where you can like watch them build?
No, I haven't.
I've never didn't know they did that.
Yeah, so you can go like they have like this bit where it's like a viewing room, and it's like all soundproofed off, obviously, because tourists be noisy. They're like in an office, and it's like a glass wall, and you look through the glass wall, and it's like people sat at desks, like literally building like massive parts of Lego.
That's pretty
It's
cool.
actually really interesting.
I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
When was the last time you played Lego?
played like a game or just ever.
Just built anything with Lego.
So my friend Gregory has the sets, you know, like the Stranger Things sets and stuff like that. He got the Mario one as well, which looks really cool. But I don't know. The only other time I ever play with Lego is when I'm like with my nephew or something like that.
Yeah, that's why we need a nephew. I've got one niece, but she's a few months old. She can't do it yet. And I want the excuse to buy toys again.
Build them and then give it to super glued like Will Ferrell in the movie.
Oh, evil.
It is upsetting, isn't it?
Although Lego glue is a thing.
Is it
if
really?
I'm not
Well, yeah.
mistaken. Yeah, I think Lego glue is a thing, especially if you're building like the full-on proper big models,
the Millennium
Millennium Falcon. Yeah,
You got to know you're doing
pretty
it
sure.
right. What if you mess it up?
Wait,
It
is
is
it
a risk.
Millennial or Millennium?
it's Millennium, isn't it? Millennium Falcon.
I'm an idiot.
Millennial Falcon.
Millennial Falcon.
God, life is so tough.
Up here in space, God.
You could buy a planet if you stopped buying avocado on toast.
Did you think that the word millennials was based off of...
No.
Okay.
The Star Wars generation is now the Millennial Falcons.
Speaking of things we've played with recently, have you guys actually played with any new video games recently?
No. Yes, World of Warcraft, I suppose.
Oh yeah, the new expansion pack came out.
It's really fun. I'll tell you what, I'm having a great time. But also, I have no time to play it.
Not for much longer, surely.
Not for much longer. Well, I have more time, hopefully. Play it soon. But yeah, like today I was going to play it, and then I had so much life admin to do, and then like J3 prep stuff, and then teaching myself how to video edit to throw up like a little story on Instagram. Time just got away from me today. I logged in for 5 minutes, and I was just like, I don't have the time for this today.
Well, we all have days like that, but I'm waiting to have some time as well, because we still need to play World of Warcraft together, hopefully on a stream at some point.
Oh yeah, I can show you the ropes.
And for any of you listening out there, we stream on Twitch. We've said earlier, but I'm going to give us another plug again. You can follow us over at twitch.tv/J3 channel. We're on there 5 days a week. The days we're not on there, we're also uploading videos to YouTube as well, youtube.com/J3 channel. So 7 days a week, you'll be able to find us. And hopefully, we haven't figured out the bugs yet, but this podcast will be going up regularly as well. More on that to come.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of streams, I guess I did play Cuphead finally yesterday.
Oh, you did? It's a game that I've always eyed up but never played.
Yeah, me too. It's one of those games that I looked at and was like, oh man, that looks really charming. Like, ignoring the fact that it's like run and gun bullet hell. But I was like, it looks good. Like, I really want to give that a go. And then, I don't know, something in me yesterday was just like, you know what? I'm finally going to buy it. Like, I'm just going to buy it and play it. And I absolutely loved it, despite getting a little bit aggy and salty at the constant deaths. But it's really good. I love the art style. I think it's like just forced its way into like probably one of the most aesthetically pleasing games that I've seen, because the art style is so good. You can tell how much attention to all the little details there was, and the fact that it's all, I believe it was all stop animation, handcrafted or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
It is all done by hand.
Drew everything. Yeah, which is wild.
It's amazing.
Fan. And the soundtrack is it's got so much charm, that game. It's all like 1930s inspired cartoons, and they've given it that kind of like VHS/film reel like grainy effect with all the little anomalies, and oh man, it's just so good. The soundtrack,
all the characters are rubber banding, aren't they, as well? Up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
Well, it's like old school 1970s Disney cartoons, or it's done the same kind of
I'd even
footage.
go further back.
Maybe
it's
the
40s.
60s.
It's 30s, 40s style, I believe, is what they were aiming for.
Oh, yeah, sorry, 30. That is what I meant. But yeah, 30s.
Was Snow White in the 40s?
No, I think that was before then.
Snow White is earlier than that. So old. Yeah, maybe the 30s.
I'd guess 20s.
Yeah, I would have said
like 1918 onwards.
Yeah, that would have been my guess too.
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
And just because we're talking about the animations, Joe brought up Disney, and I thought, what's the oldest Disney film? And I think Snow White was the first one.
Oh, okay, no, it is later than that. 1938.
Oh, 38. Okay,
or 37.
Still
actually,
though.
Yeah, one of the two.
It's the right era.
But you say there was a lot of deaths, but you actually made some solid progress. I was always worried if ever I played that on stream, I wouldn't get anywhere, and people would just be frustrated that I'm in the same place over and over again, which was kind of
I feel like
my
if you're tuning into Cuphead, you know exactly what you're getting yourself in for.
I guess.
Exactly. People love to tune in. I've noticed this a lot on Twitch. This is just a general sort of observation that people love to come in and tell you what to do next.
Oh, yes.
Like a full walkthrough guide as well. It's not like, maybe you should look at the boxes a little bit more or something like that. It'll be like, if you turn left at 19 degrees, you will see a sparkle on the floor. Look at the sparkle. It'll be a key to the bedroom. Now go to the bedroom and open the door with the key. Okay.
I don't know if you guys ever put the tag Backseat Gaming Allowed on your tag, but I feel like people take that and run with it.
Yeah. I like a little bit of Backseat Gaming. Like I said, my example of like, maybe you should consider looking at this.
No, well, I guess to me it depends on the game you're playing. If you're playing a game that has a lot of like a younger demographic, they're the ones that are more likely just to tell you how to play it, because they're so excited about someone else playing it and the fact that they know how to do it, and letting them show you that they know what to do, that they'll just outright say. Whereas it's a game aimed at an elder demographic, then they are usually a bit more like how you just explained. They give you clues, they give you hints, which is good. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I didn't think about it that way. It really does depend on like you said, the demographic. Like when you played Five Nights at Freddy's, that was coming up quite a lot.
That was going to be my example. Yep.
Sorry to just rip that from your mind and
No,
put
no,
it
no.
into my
I'm
life.
glad you did. But that's they were literally telling me straight what I needed to do next. Even though I knew what, even in some sections, I knew what I had to do next. I was like, right, I'm going to crawl through here. But before I'd have the chance to even say it, they were like, crawl through there.
They were telling you where the jump scares were, which is the worst bit for me, because like the appeal of playing Five Nights at Freddy's is the jump scare, like, you know, being caught out when you're not expecting it.
Yeah, that's kind of half ignoring it. Don't let it bother me too much.
It's tough to ignore it though sometimes, isn't it? Because like you want to catch up with chat and you're having a quick look and you're like, all right, I need to read this, and then you read like a spoiler and you're like, oh damn it, but now I've got to read it out because I've acknowledged it. And
Yeah.
I think there's a really blurred line of what is and isn't backseat gaming, and I think everyone has their own like opinion of what is and isn't. And I think, like Joe said, that line moves when you get older. Like when you're younger, backseating is like you can just basically walk them through the entire game, and that's totally fine. But then obviously when you get older, you're a bit more like, no, I want to let this person like figure it out for themselves, so I'll nudge them in the right direction, like that sort of thing. Or like I don't mind if there's like a hidden secret somewhere and I've missed it, and they're like, oh, you like there's a thing if you want to go back and get it. I'm like, oh, nice, cool. Like I wouldn't have, because I probably wouldn't have come back here. But I think Joe's right. It's like heavily based on age. Like when you get older and then you realize that, you know what, no, I'm not going to spoon feed you the answers. You can do it yourself.
I tell you what, I was gagging for like
Oof.
an in-depth walkthrough for Sekiro. I was so lost. I did like 3 streams and didn't get any progress. Like, guys, please, if you know where to go, because someone just Google it. I'm so lost.
But Jim, no one knows how to complete that game.
Exactly.
So no one's going to backseat it. They can't do it themselves.
Someone came up and was like, oh, have you spoke to this NPC? And I spoke to him and he was just like, go east. I'm like, fucking great. I don't have a compass, so that doesn't help.
Where am I?
Exactly. And then you go like 2 east, or like you go past the point and it's just like, yeah, the game was fantastic, and it is very From Software to give you no direction, but still a little linearness would be nice.
Note to self, Jimmy's ever stuck, just tell him to go east. He'll love it.
Go east, there are games there.
Although our policy is always go left.
That's true, which is west.
Yeah, that's
If you're
true.
facing north.
Damn.
But what if we're facing south? Then we can go east.
Yeah. No, you can't. East is still east, regardless of whether you're looking at south or north.
Yeah, but if you're looking south and then you go left, you're going east.
That's not how it works, Jim.
But it is.
You're a plane man.
Always
You should
gonna
know
go
this.
Relative to my north, which
Yeah.
is where I want it to be.
Yeah, exactly. There's true north, magnetic north, and my north.
Jimmy North.
My north.
Glad we cleared that up. If you're a pilot and need someone to fly the plane for you, Jimmy's your
Go
man.
left.
If you're a pilot and need someone to fly the
I couldn't think of a way to
do it myself.
advertise that. Jimmy can
But yeah,
fly
if any
planes.
airlines want to pay for my pilot instruction, that'd be great.
Yeah. He struggles with north, east, south, west, but he's good, trust me.
Naughty water squirts elephants, right?
Yes.
Ah, perfect.
Put it on your job application.
I will.
Nice.
But I think this is actually quite a good time to sort of tie this up. Put a little bow on it. Put it underneath
Just
the
so we
Christmas
don't
tree.
embarrass you any further. Is that why?
Yeah, I've gone really red.
And you were worried that we wouldn't have enough to talk about.
Yeah, Jamie.
Don't know what you're talking about.
we would complete 2 different schools of thought. I was like, I'll just wing it. And then Jamie was just like, we need a structure. So I was like, I guess I can make a structure. And then wung the structure.
We definitely did steer well away from that. What we did is we went Jimmy's west away from the structure. But we did cover some things that were written down, so that's good. We've at least got something that we wrote down in there. So it's a bit of both, a little bit of both. Definitely 80% winging it though.
Yeah. I like being able to grab from this list that we had written down in front of us.
Oh, it's definitely helped. Yeah.
It's nice.
Well, by the way, guys, listen to us review our own podcast before we end it.
We're gonna do this every episode now. We're gonna do a quick Jimmy's roundup of what.
Oh, Jim, before we go,
Yeah.
should we answer a question from Discord? I feel like we've got to do
yes.
that.
Oh, we kind of did earlier on. To be fair, someone asked how we all know each other and if we live together.
Oh, is that
I
the
only
one?
threw that in because it was so quick to answer.
It wasn't an entirely dedicated section, but we did answer one. It's what we did.
Yeah, true. But I feel like we were talking about it anyway, so we said, oh, someone actually happened to ask this. So maybe we should do another.
All right, one more. Let's do it. I'm thrown in. We could do the one that Jamie read before where we turned the record button.
What was that?
Is, should a chicken pie be placed inside a bread roll to make a pie sandwich?
my God.
It's a question I don't fully understand.
I tell you what, I have a problem with it too. But you
Wait,
first.
read it again.
Should a chicken pie be
Yep.
placed inside a bread roll to make a pie sandwich?
Right.
Because if I'm not mistaken, the author of said question lives up north, right? And
Yeah.
isn't a bread roll something different up there?
No, they just call it a different thing. I think he was
What?
just adapting for us Southerners.
Oh, you think? Okay, right. So putting a chicken pie inside of a bread roll to make it a sandwich. So is this like verging on the edge of what is a sandwich?
I
'Cause
think-
if I just put up an entire pie between two slices of bread, does it become a sandwich? Is that what we're delving into?
The thing is, he said a bread roll, so that's already not a sandwich.
But is it though?
No, I can't agree with you on that one.
You reckon? Because like I would. Look at me, got me all flustered. I would say like you're at a picnic. You don't go, oh, pass me the ham and cheese sandwich, and then you hand over a roll. You'd give them the thing between two slices of bread. But if you're at a picnic, you say, pass me a cheese roll. You're going to get a cheese roll, you know.
But this is under the assumption that what you have is two of almost the exact same thing, but one is in a roll and one's in a sandwich.
Well, yeah, but then I'd call it a chicken pie roll or pie roll, not pie sandwich.
Don't Subway refer to their subs as sandwiches sometimes?
I believe they're called sandwich artists as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though there's so much sugar in the bread, it's technically a cake.
Only in Ireland.
Oh, is it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's an Irish thing about how much sugar goes into their bread recipes, and so it's
Well-
technically a cake. So they have to take more. Well, it's not technically a cake, but it doesn't fall under bread because of how much sugar's in it, so it gets taxed more, I believe. Well, actually, I think it gets taxed because I think bread doesn't get taxed because it's bread. You know, the rules are
Discussion
fuzzy.
took a turn that I wasn't expecting.
It did.
As
It
most
did.
do.
Anyway.
But so
Yeah, so-
okay, as per the rules set down by Ronald McSubway,
Ronald McSubway.
a sub-shaped bit of bread, like a roll, is a sandwich.
You know what?
So regardless of
If-
its content, are you saying it's down to the type and the shape of bread that refers to it as the
you
sandwich?
twisted my arm. Actually, no, because a sub is a sandwich, whereas like a roll is still a roll to me.
How is a roll different from a sub? 'Cause
It's
that
like
is-
a rounder version.
Oh, you're
I
on about
mean-
like burger-shaped rolls.
Yeah. What rolls you on about?
Like
I'm thinking what Joe's thinking as well. I've gone down the route of like kind of like a small sub, like that kind of roll.
yeah,
Oh, I'd call that just like a half a sub or a mini baguette or a baton.
almost like a hot dog shaped roll.
Oh no, I'm thinking like as the people from Hull call it, a bread cake.
But then I think of that more as like a burger bap or something. If it's that
Oh,
shaped,
chip butty.
It's still a sandwich though.
I'd say so. If it's bread, it's got food in between it. It's a sandwich.
But
I'll
on
tell
the
you
topic
what.
of a hot dog, does that make a hot dog a sandwich?
Yes.
Isn't that also another question?
Oh, was
Uh,
it? I mean, we
I
can
think
answer
so.
it as well. We might as well. If it's under the same category anyway, does that make a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
No.
Well, if we're saying, well, Jimmy isn't. If Jamie and I are saying that fillers in between two bits of bread is a sandwich, then that would class as that.
What to you, Jimmy, doesn't make a hot dog a sandwich?
Well, I was going to say I'm willing to concede that anything between two dough-based products is a sandwich in the umbrella term, but I wouldn't call it a sandwich per se, you know?
Oh no.
I acknowledge it's a sandwich, but I wouldn't call it a sandwich.
No, I mean,
Okay,
I
yeah,
definitely
same.
wouldn't call a Subway a sandwich. Like, let's be real, I wouldn't. it's a Subway. That's its own category. You don't get
Yeah.
a Subway and then call it anything else bar a Subway, do you?
Exactly. It's underneath the sandwich umbrella, but it's not, like you said, a sandwich.
So, but technically,
'Cause-
according to the English dictionary, or actually, that's a point.
You're
Google.
going to Google it.
Because for me, if you can go into Subway, like for example, and get like a meatball sub,
Yeah.
that is essentially exactly the same as a hot dog.
Ow.
Yeah.
Just blew my mind.
See what I mean?
What?
It's essentially the exact same thing as a hot dog.
I guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the term sandwich in the dictionary is an item of food consisting of two pieces of bread with a filling between them, eaten as a light meal.
Pieces of bread. So it doesn't mean you have to have two rolls to make a sandwich.
Well, I think he said pieces of bread because if you were to cut a roll in half, you don't then have two slices, do you? It's two pieces of bread. Like
Yeah.
they've been indescript.
Whether-
on the
whether
shape of
those-
the bread, yeah.
Two pieces are still attached by a corner section. I still think they're classed as two pieces. It's like a
So-
hot dog. If you've cut it down the middle, cut it in half, and opened it up, even though they've got a slight joint at the bottom, that's two pieces of bread.
Based on their description, it sounds like if you were to take an entire loaf of bread and cut it in half and put something between it, it's still a sandwich.
What if you
And-
like
We're not going to touch on the burger thing by any chance. Or can we steer clear of the burger one?
No, because Americans call burger sandwiches anyway. So
That's true.
but I was thinking more like, do you know, it's like the Eastern European meal where they used to like cut the top off the loaf of bread, pull out all the innards, and put a stew inside them and cook it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a sandwich? Because it's in between a slice of bread, I guess.
No, that one. It's not in between two slices. It's
But if you put the
in
slice
one.
back on top.
Oh, well then yes. Silly question. It's
bread
obvious.
bowl with a lid.
Oh man, have you never made a bread bowl? It's the best.
I do like hollowing out bread. I like hollowing out bread and just eating the innards of the bread, if I'm honest with you. Like, I'm happy with just that. But filling
squishing
it
it
with
up in a
stuff
little
and then
bowl.
baking it.
That sounds nice. If you do fill
yeah.
the bread with, like, I don't know, soup or whatever, you can then use the innards from that bread to dunk in the soup in which you created the bowl with. Perfect.
I really like rolling bread up into a little ball and eating it. I'm one of them.
Oh, it's so good. It is.
Yep.
I haven't done it in years because I know I'll just chunk out.
So
but...
good. Although,
It's like-
was it you? I think it was you that blew my mind, but you were just like, yeah, just put them in soup. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't believe I haven't done that.
is a game changer.
All right. So okay, to scroll all the way back, if it's a pie in between the sandwich,
Yeah,
was
veered
they
way away from the question.
was they asking if it's worth doing, or are they just asking if it was a sandwich? What was the actual question?
It says, should a chicken pie be placed inside a bread roll?
Oh, so should it be done? So should we do it, in other words?
Yeah, we didn't RTFQ at all. We just RTQ.
Well,
Wrong.
in my opinion, it depends on the thickness of the pastry around the pie. Because if it's already quite thick, then bread is just going to add to it. But if it's one of those thin ones, then you're fine to put some bread either side of it because that'll
Well,
thicken
like
it back
almost
out
like
again.
a pastry, like a pasty almost.
Yeah. I think
with that.
there's a point where the ratio of filling and, well, in this case, bread and pastry becomes too much. So long as it's the right consistency, then I'm fine with it.
There we have it. We've
The-
answered. Take it as gospel. You're not allowed to take it as anything else, but
We unanimously agree.
I'm glad you guys.
I
are
probably
on board.
wouldn't do it.
I'd try it, but I won't eat the whole thing.
What
Would you
if-
butter the bread too?
What if you put a chicken pie in it?
Yeah.
I guess you wouldn't need to because of the filling of the chicken pie, right? Because it's already going to be wet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
but you can
agree.
make it wetter.
You-
Oh,
Is that what you want?
Wetter is better. You've heard
Are
the
you
song.
going to have what sort of meal if you got the pie with? Is it like mash? Would you put gravy on the whole thing anyway? Because if you would, then you don't need butter because you can just soak the
I
bread. in gravy.
imagine the reason you're weighing up the bread in the first place is because you don't have sides. It's just literally chicken pie on its own.
see, my thought process behind it is the reason you're putting bread either side is because the pastry on the pie is too thin to withhold the content of that pie, so it start leaking through. So you need a little bit of extra something to keep the innards in. That's what I'm using the pie for. The bread for.
Oh, I like it. Like when you get like chips and you got that paper to keep the chips in.
Yeah. It's like a little bit of extra structural rigidity,
I like it.
but that's the only time I'd use it.
There we have it. So, should you put a chicken pie in between two slices of bread? Yes, but only for structural rigidity and no other
Yeah.
reason.
On
Exactly.
thin crust pies.
Glad we came to that conclusion. Very,
On that
Right.
note,
very solid thought process, I think.
This has been really fun. Like straight up.
It has
I've had a
been.
great time.
I have enjoyed myself. Let's never do it again.
Okay.
All right. Nice.
Thanks for the one and only podcast.
Yeah, it's been
You-
good. It's been fun. I guess thank you. If you have listened the whole way through, more fool you, but at the same time, thank you. We appreciate.
Did you say more
sitting here
fool
listening.
you or more for you?
More fool you.
Is that it? I thought it was more for you.
No, more fool you, as in.
Huh.
Anyway,
Learning a lot today.
Next time.
let us know if you enjoyed it. Get in touch with us, I guess, on socials, on Twitter, on Instagram.
Yeah. Would you like to
Drop
hear
by in
another one?
Twitch chat. Drop another what?
Podcast.
Oh, another podcast. Yeah, that'd be good. We're going to do it anyway, just not with me because apparently I'm done. Don't forget, you can find us on Twitch, twitch.tv/J3 channel. You can find us on YouTube as well, youtube.com/J3 channel. The only tag that's different is our Twitter. It's J3 channel, which is a little bit of a pain, but we've had to take it in our stride a little bit. Yeah,
We
so
should probably
come along,
DM the
say
guy
hello.
who stole it.
Be like, oi.
Who stole it but got it first?
Stole it.
Have you guys got anything else to say before we wrap up?
No. Just the usuals. Please stay safe. Look after yourself, and we love you very much.
Yeah, no, that's it from me. Thank you very much.
We do indeed.
All right. Bye, guys. Oh,
Oh,
Charity event.
yeah. Go for it.
take it away.
If you're listening to this before the 19th of December, you're in luck because we have a charity event on the 19th of December. That's right, 19th of December, a Saturday. We'll be raising money for Young Minds and raising mental health, awareness, for mental health. Young Minds is a UK charity that helps youth, young adults. The service is going to be used by full adults as well. And it helps people who are suffering from depression, anxiety, body dysmorphia, covers the mental health umbrella. So any issues you're having will help sort of provide a public service. So we can be raising money for that for festive. What have we called it? Festive fun times.
Yes.
Festive fun and forfeits.
That's it. Festive fun and forfeits, because obviously it's so close to Christmas. So join us for festive fun and forfeits. 12 hours, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and guaranteed to be fun. That is a J3 Jimmy promise.
J3 guarantee.
If it's a J3 Jimmy promise, then it won't be broken.
Exactly. I never break promises, ever.
Nice. Ever. Sounds good. Great cause.
Right.
Especially at the moment.
Let's do this. We've got nothing to wiggle at, so imagine we're all holding our hands up like we do on YouTube.
I'm still doing it.
I'm doing it.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Save.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.